Special guest joining us now to break down the USA struggles at Copa America. Let's welcome back Alexi Lamas, American soccer legend. Was on the great World Cup team in the 90s. Alexi, how you doing, my man?
I'm good. Yeah, that was back in the previous century, back in the 1900s. So a lot has changed, or maybe it hasn't. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't listen. Everybody saw your passionate. I don't know if they're called rants or just opinions after the U.S. loss to Uruguay. I don't know. I don't want to go overboard here, but are you of the belief that right now U.S. soccer is not so much doing a review of Copa America, and we all saw what happened, but rather kicking the tires on potential coaches to see if they can actually land a big fish?
Yeah, and I think if 2026, the World Cup in 2 years, wasn't coming barreling down the pike, as I said, it might be a different type of situation. But this is an incredible opportunity, and the necessity to harness 2026 cannot be overstated. And so you have to have all guns blazing come 2026, both on and off the field, in order to, like I said, maximize this opportunity. And so this is the last time this summer that we were going to see this group in a competitive environment against elite teams. And that's just the reality of the next couple of years, unfortunately. And so this was where the rubber meets the road. This was where Greg Berhalter was going to be assessed and where this team was going to be assessed. And let's be honest, initially the conversation was you get out of the group and then we're going to face a Colombia or a Brazil, and that's really where we're going to assess what this team and this coach is. We didn't even get that far. We didn't even get out of the group. So it was an unmitigated disaster and a failure in the moment, and especially as it relates to 2026, because it does not fill me with confidence and hope and positivity, nor inspire me that the next couple of years is going to be this incredible positive juggernaut towards something special in 2026.
Are you of the belief that maybe, first comes the struggle, then the success? And we had to have the dumb Tim Weah foul. We had to have that red. Maybe this is what we need so that the change comes. Otherwise, like you said, we advance to the knockouts. Colombia, didn't they spank us recently 5-1 or something? Like we get drubbed by Colombia or Brazil, and it's like, okay, we'll keep Berhalter. We got to the knockout. Maybe this is what had to happen for the change to happen.
Yeah, maybe. And so, I think there's a lot of people that look at it like that. Greg Berhalter's, and, even leading up to this game, was talking about the lessons that this team has learned through losing. And that's absolutely the case in life and sports. I get that. But the whole point of learning lessons through losing is that you stop losing or you lose less. And I think that's where the real problem is right now. Now, if this ultimate failure is what changes everything and leads to a better situation going into 2026, by the way, whether that's with or without Greg Berhalter, then certainly maybe we can look back and say it was a step back in order to take 2 steps forward. But we've done that a lot over the last couple of years. And relative to Greg Berhalter, for your viewers and listeners here, just a reminder, Greg Berhalter has been given multiple bites at the apple. Yeah. All right. He has been given multiple cycles. That even in and of itself in international soccer is unique. And we know what happened after the World Cup in 2022. And the United States Soccer Federation went and reassessed and just said, okay, we're going to continue on. And, I don't believe in multiple cycles for any national team coach, whether it's good or bad, whether you're winning or losing. I just think that it gets stale. But since, because people have asked me now, well, you supported Greg Berhalter. Well, what happened was after the World Cup in 2022, it seemed that the United States Soccer Federation was going to rehire Greg Berhalter. And then all the craziness came out off the field. And I didn't think that, he, or by the way, anybody else should have been punished or penalized or denied that opportunity because of the vindictive actions of others that had nothing to do with soccer. And I really came at it from a principle perspective. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I should have been much more ruthless and pragmatic relative to that assessment. But we find ourselves here. And there is an opportunity to make a change if the United States Soccer Federation feels that that is appropriate now. And they have to do everything to make sure that they assure that we have the best possible chance of success come the summer of 2026.
All right, so tell me, what's it like to get that voice change in the locker room? You were on the U.S. team in the 90s. I think you guys went through Samson Milutinovic.
Yep.
I hope I didn't butcher his name. But like,
we went through a bunch of different coaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how much does that voice change? Can there be a seismic shift in philosophy, formation? Can that be truncated into 20 months, Alexi, or is that too much to ask anyone?
So first off, there's not a Landon Donovan or a Clint Dempsey coming through that door. The players are who they are. You might get a couple of different players here, but not fundamentally changing the outlook of this team. So what you're trying to find, if you are going to make a change, is somebody that is going to do better with what you already have. You know, and this, I mean, you talk about sports all day. This applies to all different sports. You will get inevitably the new coach type of bounce if you make a change, but that only lasts so long. And keep in mind that this group has been adamant and very public about their support of Greg Berhalter. As a matter of fact, when that whole coaching search happened after the World Cup, they obviously talked to players, and by all accounts, they were incredibly supportive and have been for a long time. So you get that initial bounce. But what I would be looking for if they are going to make a change, like I said, is somebody that's going to inspire me. I don't want to be grouchy. I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to be cynical over the next 2 years, because that's not what this was billed at. Nor that's not what it should be. We should be excited. This is the most important summer in American soccer history, and we should be doing everything, like I said, to maximize it on and off the field. And so I want somebody that's a bigger than life personality. I want somebody that is going to champion American soccer, champion this team leading up to the most important moment in the summer of 2026. I want somebody that's out there. I want somebody that's barnstorming. I want somebody that when I leave an interview or when I see that person on the sideline, or obviously when I see that team playing on the field, is inspiring and makes me believe that this team is worth my time, that this team is worth my heart, that this team is worth believing in.
I'll ask because, I'm sure people are going to ask you, but we've seen Steve Kerr come from the booth to coach. We saw JJ Redick was an announcer. He's now coaching the Lakers. We've seen John Gruden in the NFL, on down the line of folks coming from media and going into head coaching. Alexi, if the U.S. came to you and said, Lalas, we want you as our guy, how do you respond?
You know what? We're in the political season right now, and I don't know if you're following it, but there's a lot of questions about VPs and stuff like that. And inevitably, politicians, when they get asked these questions, they go, "Oh, I'm just whatever's good for the party, and I want what's good for the country, and blah 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 blah." If the United States Soccer Federation came to me and asked me to coach this team, I would do it in a second, out of a sense of responsibility. And out of a sense of confidence, maybe even bordering on arrogance in terms of what I feel that we could do with this group here. So I'm not going to do the politician thing. Hell yeah. They should be so lucky to have someone like me leading this team.
Love it. All right, let's macro for Copa America. Brazil has not looked incredible. I thought Colombia was very impressive yesterday. Who's your pick to come out of Copa America and win it all?
I mean, look, your safe money right now is Argentina. And Argentina with Messi, by the way, in his new backyard, defending his Copa America title, and maybe a prelude to defending his World Cup championship and title in 2 years, again in his backyard in 2026. So that they have a really easy pathway to the final. On the other side, it gets a little bit more interesting and complicated with Colombia, Brazil, and Uruguay. A lot of people think that Uruguay is the cream of the crop, even better than Argentina right now. But it's Brazil, and they can be sneaky good coming through, but they're going to have to play. Colombia, and that's going to be a really, really interesting matchup. And
quickly on the Euros, which come back into play Friday, amazing matchup: Spain, Germany, England. And listen, the Jude Bellingham goal in 95th minute was incredible. One of those moments where you're at a restaurant and you don't know who's watching soccer, and all of a sudden this roar goes up from random people, like, "Oh my gosh!" Your thoughts on Spain, Germany, and then England?
So I've picked Germany as the host team. I think they just are rising to the occasion, and there's something special about a host team, especially a host team that's like Germany going to the final. So I got them. But like you said, just a scrumptious matchup, if you will. And talk about an easy path. If it's coming home, it's because of the easy path that England has right now. But never underestimate the ability for England to screw up a good thing. So we'll see if that happens over there on that other side. But I'm picking Germany all the way through to the final and winning the final in Germany. And
Cristiano Ronaldo missed the penalty kick. I'm sure you did a little victory lap, given some of your takes on it.
I mean, there's no crying in baseball, but there's no crying in soccer in the middle of the game. I mean, look, as the kids say, or maybe they used to say, I stand for Cristiano Ronaldo. As a matter of fact, I will defend him relative to Messi. But come on, my man. He started crying on the field in the middle of the game. All right, maybe at the end of the game or something like that. But come on, you're like a superhero. I don't want my superhero crying. That's ridiculous.
I can't disagree with anything. Alexi Lamas, Fox Sports. You'll see him all over our soccer coverage. Great stuff as usual, Alexi. And hey, keep your phone nearby in case U.S. Soccer calls you.
They should be so lucky. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Onward and upward, my friend. This too shall pass.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.